Good evening, everyone. It is Sunday night, the last word on the evens and the weekend's action, extra time. Wolverhampton Wanderers 2, the Everton Toffees 3. 3 defeats in a row at the start of the Premier League season. We're rock bottom. We've got so much to talk about. There's so much discussion on social about the performances, about the transfer window, about everything that's going on in the club, about what's played on the music. We're going to cover everything tonight. We have got an amazing lineup for you tonight. Absolutely brilliant lineup. So I hope you're going to enjoy it. You guys can get involved in the chat, and you can even get on the show if you want to have a link. And we've got a special guest from Wolves coming on later on in the show as well. So stay tuned for that. Before we get started, I do want to say an amazing big thank you, of course, as always, to the wonderful people over at Creation Wolf, local Wolverhampton company. They deliver the industry's and latest and most advanced digital solutions, taking your brand, if you have one, or online presence and digital capabilities to the next level. Link in the description below, creationwolf.com. And I know they're helping already a lot of local businesses. So thank you for joining us across YouTube, across Facebook, across X, on TikTok as well. Hello to the TikTok people. And yeah, we're going to get stuck into it, and we've got loads and loads to talk about. And as always, this show is your show. It's yeah, I host it, but all views are open. Doesn't matter how extreme or how angry, you can come and have a platform to come on. There is a link in the description below, in the description on YouTube, that you can click. You come in the green room, you can come and vent, say whatever you want, give your opinions. It's an open forum with ourselves and the panel tonight. So feel free to jump onto that. We've got video guests as well. And yeah, we're going to get stuck into it. So first of all, I'm delighted to welcome on tonight Sooty. How you doing, mate?
David, how are you?
Yeah, I've had a week of it. It's been interesting. But yeah, it's yeah, I think like all of us, we're frustrated, fed up, going through a lot of emotions at the moment. Everyone seems to be on a bit of a down, and it's not really just, is it, the start of the season? It's an accumulation over a long period of time. But how's your week been?
Week's been all right, apart from football, really, Dave. I mean, let's be honest. Tuesday was no great shakes, but a win's a win, isn't it? But we are papering over cracks, as they say, Dave. Massive. Yeah.
A win is a win, and I was happy on Tuesday, and the Joy Police came out for being happy. But like, yeah, it was nice that end. The Strand Larson literally tongue-tied. So yeah, absolutely fantastic. So yeah, if you're in the if you do join and you're in the green room, then we'll get you on during the show. Next up, I do want to welcome on. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Where's Jason gone? Is he still there? Well, I'm going to bring on next of all Scott. Kieran. Sorry. How you doing, mate? Thank you for joining. Kieran from the Old Gold Pack. How are you?
Yeah, I'm very good, thank you, mate. I've been called far worse than Scott, so I'll take that.
Apologies for that, mate. I've got someone in the green room. Connor and Scott are in the green room, so that we'll get them on at points in the show. So if you're in the green room, thank you for joining us. Yeah, mate, how's your week been?
Yeah, it's been good. Tuesday was I took my little lad down to Molineux. So yeah, that was decent. But yeah, it's not been too bad. Not too bad at all.
Fantastic. Loads of people welcoming you. Kieran made his debut recently. Did an absolutely amazing job, as you know, with the Jota tribute with the Old Gold Pack. Worked so hard on that, and I think we're all very, very grateful for how they made that really, really special. And the reason I couldn't see him, I'm bringing him on It's Wolves Premier. It's Lord Jason Guy. If you're listening to it on the podcast, he's got a made banner saying posted out, but he's also got the brand new, beautiful Brazilian Wolves away kit, looking resplendent. Jason,
without that horrible German money laundering betting scamming scheme, whenever it is going on the front of the shirt, yeah. So that's not true, by the way. But yeah, I've gone for the sponsor list one. If you want to sponsor the shirt, guys, because a lot of people are opting for them now, you just email fanservices@wolves. Then when you've ordered them, they ask for your when you've emailed them, they'll ask for your order number. Send them your order number, and you'll get a sponsor shirt. And you know what? They look so much better than that betting website that no one can find online.
There's a nice top tip there. Loads of people welcoming you into the thing as well. Chris Cheerful says the sponsor fell off already. It's
probably due to excessive stretching. Yeah, of my biceps when I get hold of you.
Absolutely, absolutely. And let's also bring on our final guest tonight. Let me just set this one up. I've got a new thing that I found on this tonight, so bear with me. How do we get back to that? Here we go.
Is it Manny? Is it Manny?
It is Jack, otherwise known as Mr. Poundland himself. How you doing? Jack in his normal guys today without the glasses.
I'm all right, mate. I realised on these live streams on the webcam, I feel like, is it Leslie Grantham who played Dirty Dan? Remember he got sacked about 25 years? I just feel I look like a pervert every time. Sorry. Sorry, Dave. I'm all right, mate. Yeah.
Fantastic, mate. Well, mate, absolutely brilliant. We were chatting in the week. You know, top bloke. You always make us laugh as well with your comedy. And Gary Poundland and everything, and all the characters that you have. Have you got any shows lined up coming up? Any new tours coming up down there with the characters planned?
Nothing yet, mate. Just a bit of writing, quite end of the year, and then hopefully a big sort of comeback show next year in Wolverhampton. All being well.
You played the Halls not so long ago, did you?
Brilliant. Yeah, we did. We'll be at the Wolverhampton Hall again with the Good Shepherd for Stand Up for Change. Hopefully, Robert Plant's going to be there as well because he's a. I'm an ambassador, and so's Robert Plant. How's mental's that? I mean, just look at my plastering. You know, right? Is it?
Mate, I'm loving it. It's an absolutely star-spangled lineup tonight. We've got, loads to get stuck into, and we've already got over 600 people watching live as we speak, which is crazy already because the show's just started. And then we have loads more that watch it back on catch up.
Have we got any plasterers who are watching, please?
Who's watching, mate? Plasterers. If there is any plasterers watching, please reach out to Jack and give him a hand. Now, before we get started with it, let's do a little bit of the video phone calls to start off with. We'll do a couple to start with. A couple of the USA guys have sent in videos. Let's have a see what they start and see where they lead the show. So first of all, we have got Noah.
And Wolves 2, Everton 3 at Molineux, and that is now 3 successive defeats to begin our Premier League campaign. So jumping right into it, I thought we were really, really slow out of the gates, first 5 or 10 minutes or so, and that's been a concerning trend as well so far this season. You know, Vitor said time and time again that, you know, you can't switch off in this league. And we certainly switched off on the first goal. Header back across from Grealish. It's just too easy. That ball needs to be cleared away. It just needs to be cleared away somehow. Should not get all the way through to the back post. I thought we responded okay. Munetsi with a brilliant ball, good finish from Hwang. But also other than that, didn't really hear a whole lot from Munetsi or Hwang thereafter throughout the match. So even though you get a goal from Hwang and an assist from Munetsi on that play, they didn't bring a whole lot else to the table. Second goal was a backbreaker, I thought. You know, we just need to clear our lines there, clear it away. Andre's in a 50-50 battle. We shouldn't be putting him in that position, I think. even though he wins tackles and all that. It's a lot to ask from him to win every single duel, every single tackle. Also we get carved open way too easily. And also the reason why I say it was a backbreak is because I think we needed to get in 1-1 at the half. That way Vitor can instill some confidence in the squad. And I think also the third goal, though, is a direct, correlation to that, really. Third goal, like, Agbadou again, man. I feel like a broken record. I'm not going to say it for the 100th time. Where has Agbadou gone? But, does he need a break? Like, does he need a reset? Maybe that comes with the international break coming up. But he's way off it, and I really fear for our survival. Quite frankly, I don't think we survive if he continues on like this. All the goals we conceded today were from our mistakes and our own doing, really. Everton are an okay side, I think, but they still have weaknesses. They're still there to be got at, and I think we needed a result from today, quite frankly. The subs made a great impact, I thought. Rodrigo Gomez scored again today. That's 2-2 for him, scored in the Carabao Cup on Tuesday, and today again, really cracking finish. Lopez was great, I thought. Sasha caused issues again. Bellegarde, came on, ran at people, had some energy. But overall, Vitor needs to sort out the defense. I also think Arias, put him on the right. Let's play him in his correct position. Maybe even actually experiment, though, with him in the middle, in front of two strikers, a 3-4-1-2. Basically what we did at the end of the West Ham match in the Carabao Cup on Tuesday. I also think, too, we need 2 more signings, a cam and a defensive midfielder. But yeah, anyways, try to enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys, and also enjoy the international break, and hopefully things also settle down after the international break, and Vitor can really figure out his first 11 as well. Anyways, take care, everyone. Always Wolves.
And our next caller is Wolfman Jeff.
Hey, Dave, Wolfman Jeff here in Chattanooga. Just checking in about today's match against Everton. And my one-word summarization is pitiful. It's just pitiful right now. I know last year and the last couple of years we've struggled starting off the season. We tend to sign late and get things gelled. I get that. Last year, though, we had a very rough schedule to start in. This year's not the case. I mean, outside of Man City, we've been playing oppositions that we have a chance to be more competitive, and we're just not taking advantage of that, Dave. So that's been pretty frustrating, and so I'm not sure we're... the other frustrating thing is it's not necessarily the new players getting their feet that I'm concerned about. It's these returning players who seem to have forgotten what their role is and how to do it. Manetzi was one of my favorite last year, and I am very concerned right now. It's like he's just a shadow of what he was. It wasn't all dreadful today. I did enjoy the goal, especially for Hwang Hee-chan. I'm glad to see Channy get that goal. I hope it gets his confidence back. I think it was a good, and so we did get some goals this time, which is an improvement, but our defense was just dreadful, and that has to be addressed. And there were some changes made to the lineup, and I think when Hugo went down, he made...
Can I ask, could you hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why he's
planned
not
on. I
coming
think
up.
he was going to have someone as a change in the...
So, yeah, sorry, there's Wolfman Jeff, and for some reason, Noah keeps coming up, and I don't know why.
I thought he was just doing a really good ventriloquist.
Here he is.
Probably Agbadou coming out, and that's frustrating. Glad, though, we did get the win in the middle of the week, but, that's not in league, so those don't count for points. So we're digging ourselves into a hole. I don't think it's insurmountable. I don't think we're going down, but we're just digging a hole. It's going to make it harder on ourselves. So we got to get these new players up and at them, and we've got to get our existing players back up to speed. We got to catch our vision again. Hey, this is Wolfman Jeff in Chattanooga. Always Wolves.
So, yeah, so that was Wolfman Jeff. Sorry about that. For some strange reason, he wasn't coming up on the screen. We could hear him, but we couldn't see him. But we seem to resolve that. Guys, you've obviously heard that, the comments there. You know what, Jason? let's go with you first
Yeah.
on what they've had to say and of the points that you want to make.
I mean, the first lad, one of the things that he said was, does Agbadou need a break? He's just had 6 to 8 weeks off, Dave. He doesn't need a break. Listen, I looked at the defence yesterday. It's the defence what worries me. There was, obviously, we're conceding 3 goals at home, and they were all sloppy, avoidable goals. The distribution was poor throughout the team, especially in the first half. The defence, for me, is a real big worry. I mean, Totti Gomez, he wouldn't be my choice of captain. But Totti Gomez and Agbadou are very, very one-footed players, really easy to play against. And this is probably why Agbadou might have got found out a little bit, because Agbadou, very one-footed, right-footed. If you pass it anywhere near his left, he panics. The same with Gomez. It's always got to go onto his left side. So they are easy to play against. So the defence for me is completely void of confidence. When we try and play out from the back as well, it's just like a hot potato. You can see everybody looks like they've got a mistake in them. The new lad, Chihuahua, whatever his name is, pace is brilliant. Great going forward. Probably a bit too quick for his train of thought, because for me, once again, his distribution at times was quite poor. We've seen him give it away cheaply. And I know these players have got to have time to settle in, Dave. We haven't got that time. And this moves me to the final third of the picture. Player like Arias, we know it took Cunha 20, 30 games to really find his feet. And he does with a lot of players. Arias isn't going to be ready for 10 or 20 games. We have not got that time to wait. The positives for me was, and there wasn't many, but the positives for me was the change of play in the second half. Why he didn't start Rodrigo Gomez, I've got absolutely no idea, because that lad come on and he really did look the part and not change the game. But he listen, there's no way that Fer Lopez, in my opinion, and Gomez can't start next game for that performance. Fer Lopez, yes, it was a cameo performance. His distribution once again wasn't great. They're all playing low on confidence, but he looks a real good player. And we know what Fosun do with good players. They get sold in May. Hugo Bueno for me as well. He looked good. I mean, Hugo Bueno's getting a bit of stick online, and I can't really understand why.
I was really impressed with Hugo Bueno. I didn't think he let us down yesterday, personally.
I was really impressed with Hugo Bueno. Look, he's not Ryan Aït-Nouri. He's not Ran. We know that. But I was really impressed. But the defence is really worrying me, Dave. I mean, we've heard now that Sasa might be on his way out on loan. Hwang, he still might be out. I mean, yes, looks like we're going to be keeping Strand Larsen till Christmas. Silva's just gone. It leaves us so light of attacking options up front. You know, they can't expect Arias, like I said, to come out all guns blazing and be the player he was in his Club World Championship, because there's a lot of new faces at the club, Dave. After yesterday, look, it's 3 games in, played 3, lost 3. It's too early to say we're going to get down, but it's a worrying trend. It's a worrying start. And like I said, these players are all coming in. Are they real Premier League quality? You know, are they going to be given that time to gel? Have we got the time for them to gel? With the goal, Menezes, great crossing. Hwang, great finish. Right, you know, Hwang gets his doubts as well. He does know where the back of the net is. But for me, the biggest worry is that defence, because they look so low. I mean, listen, I'll finish with this, Dave. Agbadou, last season was like Bobby Moore. This season's like Demi Moore. I mean, Dave, how can a player put the performances in he did last season, and this season he looks like Sebastian Basong? What is going on?
Jason, absolutely. I think the Tulu, I think he's a striker that's coming in. I think he's coming in.
6'6". About him very quickly, Dave. He looks a big, strong lad. 6'6". Once again, he's coming from a Belgian club. Is he going to come in all guns? But look, these players need time.
The problem as well is we've got a few that are African, which is great, but we're going to lose 3 or 4 players in December.
There you go.
To the African.
And what disappoints me is, Dave, we did our business early with the outgoings.
Yeah.
With Cunha and Ryan Aït-Nouri. I can't understand, with a few days to the deadline, Vitor is now signing his 4th and 5th choice players. So it's not going to bode well. A guy put a comment in earlier saying, "Oh, I reckon Vitor Pereira might walk." Let me tell you something, Dave. You tell me the last manager to ever walk away from his job in the Premier League. We can't remember. Why? Because if they do, they walk without a payout. Nobody resigns from a job in the Premier League, Dave. They all wait till they get sacked.
Or in the case of Lopetegui, of course, he kind of
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
He did go, but he still got his payoff, didn't he? Listen, mate, it's absolutely brilliant points, which is why we love having you on the show, mate. You always make us smile as well.
Thank you.
Someone else that makes people smile, Jack. Do you want to come in with that and your points, mate?
Yeah,
We've now got, by the way, we've now got over 1,000 people watching live.
Yeah, I thought sound really basic, but we were really rubbish. I thought looking at the starting lineup like an hour before kickoff, you look at Wang and Manetti and you just think, where are goals going to come from? Because unless Wang's in the 6-yard box, he's no good for anything else. He offers nothing else. I thought in terms of you on about the American chap was on about Agbadu maybe needing a break after 3 games. To be fair, I thought somebody just said as well, Hugo Bueno ran himself into the ground. I thought he looked knackered, and I thought Manetti looked knackered.
Yeah.
Because, we know what Manetti is. And I was desperate for him to think. I was thinking he might turn into a cult hero. He might just be this pair of legs who doesn't stop running and offers the summit and the heart and the fight. But it looked to me like he was running quicksand yesterday. And if that's how he's looking, that's all he's got to his game for us. No disrespect to him. If he's not got the legs, then what's he bringing? It's just very poor, mate. And I don't see what is it tomorrow night, isn't it? It's about 24 hours away, isn't it? It closing the transfer window.
Yeah, well, less than 24 hours now because the transfer window closes in 22 hours 27 minutes at 7 p.m. tomorrow night. They bought it forward, the transfer window, because it's always 11 o'clock, but because people have to work late, so they bought it to 7 o'clock. So it shuts at 7 o'clock tomorrow. Yeah,
I've got no hope at all, no faith at all for them to do the right business in that amount of time, especially if Sasha leaves as well. Positives, I thought. I think it was Kieran and Jason have both said. I thought Fer Lopez looks like a player. He came on and I was saying to the lad next to me, he's a footballer. He's technically good. He was bringing the ball forward. It was doing for us what Grealish was doing for them all game. He wanted the ball. He was giving the ball back and then calling for it again, getting the ball up the pitch. And he's got to start because we ain't going to score otherwise. Unless you can't rely on Arias. Like I think was it. Who's just said that it took him 30 games? Was it you, Jason? Sorry, it took him 30 games to settle for us. Cunha. I never thought there was a footballer there, but when it did click, it was brilliant. We ain't got that. We haven't got that time. And I keep thinking, in terms of if Pereira leaves, he ain't going to resign. He'll be sacked if that happens. Then you've got to get somebody else who's got to come in who doesn't know the team with players who don't know the league or they're catching up with the pace of the English game. And then they've got to start again. So, I don't know. I think we're in trouble. And I'm an optimist. I've laughed it off the past 3 or 4 years. I've laughed off the idea of relegation because I couldn't see it. But at the minute, I can't see where goals are coming from. And I can't see them fixing that leaky defence unless this new lad's good and we're straight in.
Well, yeah, exactly. Coming on to him. Just want to give a shout out to Manny because he's in the chat tonight. Popped to see him after a couple of hours that he started the cycle. One of his crazy ideas: 24 hours cycling without even going for a wee, and he's raised £12,000 again. So fair play, mate. Absolutely brilliant. Matthew Paul, who sent a super chat to get on the screen, says he worries about the Andrex Gomez partnership. Both phenomenal ball-winning players, but they miss Cunha to take the ball off them. We do need that attacking midfielder. Sutty, let's come in with your thoughts on this now, mate, and then we'll go to Kieran after that.
Well, good evening, everyone. Where do we start here? Last week I went on your after.
We were on the instant reaction, wasn't we?
Yeah, instant reaction.
Away at Bournemouth, mate. Sunny Bournemouth.
It was a lovely day, and it was depressing as anything watching that. And if you can remember, I said to you, you know, people say, "Oh, pre-season doesn't matter. Pre-season doesn't matter." Okay, well, pre-season results don't matter. I'll reiterate this, but pre-season performances and bedding in new players most definitely matters. And if you, as a fan, can see what they're trying to achieve, and you lose, but it looks good, you can see that there's hope. At the moment, this is utter dross. There's no cohesion. There's no plan. There's certainly no leaders on that pitch. We are devoid of leaders. We've got a middle two in our midfield that get overrun. The back line, the back three centre halves look like rabbits in headlights. All of a sudden, we've lost the ability to play football. The team that won 6 on a bounce last season are a far better squad than what we've got now, and 2 or 3 of them wanted to leave.
Sooty, can I just come in on that one point, because there's this interesting stat come out by Opta today, which, as you mentioned, 6 on the bounce. Wolves are the first team in top flight history to win 6 on the bounce and then only take 1 point off their next 7 games. Yeah. So I just thought,
but we created the European Cup. It's okay.
It's just shockingly bad. Now, let's not start wetting the bed. It's 3 games. 3 games. But Newcastle, Leeds at home, Spurs away, Brighton at home, then Burnley. Where are we getting points from here? Because I see a toothless attack, and I see not much bottle. And what really grates me is the dropping of heads as soon as we concede. You've got to have a will to win to be a top flight sportsman. That's fact. That's just an absolute basic. And
do you think that's because we haven't won? Okay, apart from the cup, we haven't won. We haven't won since April. Do you think?
As winning becomes a habit, Dave.
Yeah.
Losing becomes an even worse habit, and you get stuck in a rut. And they're stuck in a rut. But this isn't just down to these lads. You can't put all the blame onto these lads. We're trying to get rid of 13 or 14 players and bring in 8. Okay, some of the 13 and 14 needed to go. It was dead wood. But are we replacing quality with quality? Are we replacing our 2 main game changers in Cunha and Ryan Aït-Nouri with as good a player that's come in? Certainly not. Absolutely not. We are not replacing them. And in this league, you don't have time to fanny around, because you can be cut off very, very fast. Now, if we're doing this rinse and repeat thing every season, which we seem to be doing now, and you know, Dave, over the last day, I've had some quite interesting conversations with certain people that they seem to think this is acceptable. I don't think this is acceptable. I pay money to go home and away to watch this pile of shite, who I absolutely adore as a football club. But I'll be honest, if we're good, we're good. And if we're bad, I'll call it out. It needs calling out, and it needs a fan base to stop singing about "we don't care about Jeff Shee" and start to go in really hard. Now, that's not going in hard on players that are wearing the shirt. That's getting all your attention to that director's box and really giving it them. Because if you keep accepting this, they'll think it's fine. It's time to grow a backbone as a fan base and start letting them know properly, because it's not acceptable, this. We will go down. And if we go down, I can guarantee you now that we won't bounce straight back up. We are devoid of anything, Dave. It's so poor. And you can say in your comments, we'll go and support anybody, go and support someone else. Well, you can shove it up your arse. I've been here for 47 years. Right? I'll support these to my dying death. And I never, ever call anybody out on that pitch. Never. I've never booed anybody. But that little cretin sat in that box above the dugouts needs his arse handed to him on a plate because he's going to take us down. And it's time that we all stood up and started denouncing him. They've got to change tact here. PSR isn't an issue with this football club. It is not an issue. But what will become a big issue is us not circling the sinkhole. We'll be sucked straight into it and there's no coming back.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Brilliant.
The Whistle podcast is saying go and support someone else. Which, that's Jason.
Go on, off you pop.
Causing issues. David, who totally agrees. Such issue enforcing need to know. And I tell you what, it's really bubbling under the surface, and you can feel the anger. Kieran, let's come on to you now. You've heard everyone talk. About
I've got nothing else to say now. Especially going after stuff today. Look,
we've now got over 1,200 watching live, guys. Incredible, really.
Yeah, no, it's Kieran, awesome.
Kieran, sorry to interrupt, mate. How come you made them change silver lining to fields of gold, mate?
Yeah,
we will cover a little bit of this later on. It's not Kieran's fault, trust me on that.
You did a brilliant job with the TIFO.
Yeah, a brilliant job with the TIFO.
Cheers for that,
guys. Jack's playing naughty now as well. Kieran.
Yes. So away from the field, we'll talk about the fields of gold. That's not me. I just want to say that. Just to get that out there. Jack, thanks for that one. It's all right. Yeah, I completely agree. We pay our money home and away to watch this. It's about time that we kind of stood up. And I think the most disappointing thing for me is over the last however many seasons, maybe we did overachieve back in Europe and doing all of that, and maybe we did get there a little bit sooner, but actually this is what they wanted from the start. This is what they promised from the start. This is what Fosun came in and said that they wanted to achieve. So at that time it didn't necessarily feel like we were overachieving. We're massively underachieving right now, and I think that the most disappointing thing for me is Molineux's just lost its bite completely. But this, honestly, Steve Morgan was slapped about in Barnsley for a lot less than this. And I'm not saying that violence is the way forward. But what I am saying is that part of the fan base has gone, and that's because they've been priced out. That's because they don't necessarily feel like they're welcome at the club anymore. They don't feel that the club stands for what it was back in the day, and that's really disappointing because Wolves has always been a working men's club. Wolverhampton isn't the most affluent of areas, and we all just want to go on a Saturday, watch our football, watch some decent stuff, have a good sing along. Let's not talk about fields of gold just yet. And watch our team do well, and more importantly, feel like they're actually trying. Yesterday, and actually this whole season, devoid of any idea going forward. There's got to be a point as well that we question Vitor on this. Some of the decisions that he's made for substitutions this season have been astonishing. I'm one of Vitor's biggest fans. I think what he did for us and where he came in, and the job that he did last season, and for us to win 6 on the bounce was absolutely incredible. But since then, it's just gone completely down the drain. Manetzi, I don't even know what his role was yesterday. I don't know what he was doing. Hwang just sort of strolling about. I know he decent finish. I don't think that there was. It would have been harder for him to miss that chance. Let's be honest. It was great build-up play, but I'm not sure what else that he did. Agbadou, everybody said it. I don't know what's happened there. So I saw a tweet yesterday. If anyone watched the movie Space Jam, where the aliens suck all the talent out of the players, that's the only thing that I can think has happened with Agbadou.
It's like he's been abducted by aliens, actually, and replaced by a different being, because he was contender for player of the season for half a season last year, and then I don't know. It's just like
it's just disappointing.
It's like he's been possessed.
Yeah, it's just disappointing, and I think that's the main kind of feeling. And actually, I was chatting with a few friends earlier on today. People they're just not asked anymore. People are like, the South Bank just felt like it wasn't bothered. Like we're just accepting it. It's just become part of the norm. And that's not the Wolves that I know. That's not the fan base that I know. That's not what I go to expect. That's not what I pay a stupid amount of money for each season to, travel up and down the country and to, buy these shirts and support the lads. And I'm exactly the same. I don't want to boo them on the pitch. I don't want to do all of that. I'm there to support Wolverhampton Wanderers. But the problem, and the club won't like me saying this, and I don't really care if they do. I've got in trouble with the club so many times. The problem is right there at the top. As Sutty said, it's that cretin at the top. And he's the problem from the start all the way through. He's not delivered on what he's promised. I don't think he's got a backbone. Honestly, I'd love to see him try and sell the club to me. I wouldn't believe a word that he says. He doesn't fill me with confidence. He doesn't fill any of the fans with confidence, and I'm not sure that he's I don't think he's been the right man for the job for a while. And I think we need to let it be known.
Crikey, very good words from everyone tonight, which is absolutely fantastic. We've got some people in the green room. We've got a couple of young lads. Let's get them on for their view quickly. Each one will get a couple of minutes to express their view. We've got Connor and then Scott, some young lads here, some young Wolves fans. So be nice to them, everyone. Connor?
So first of all, I just want to say I love your channel and content. But first of all, the club need to sort it out. It's ridiculous. The fans have paid a lot of money to go to that club and to pay for that club, and literally, Bolson need to step up. The owners need to step up. Vito Pereira has set some standards for this club. Has set some standards, and I don't care. And I don't care about Jeff Shee no more. The owners need to sort it out. Or just get rid of Jesse and Folsom and rebuild from there. It's no excuses no more. It's no excuses.
Connor, how old are you, can I ask?
I am 17.
Fantastic. So you're a very young Wolves fan, and there's a lot of older Wolves fans that are fed up and feeling exactly the same way. And this is a very young Wolves fan. And let's face it, Connor, you've only known pretty much Premier League football, and you've had enough as well.
Yeah, I have. It's ridiculous. I mean, Newcastle need to we need to keep Jorgensen Larsson, otherwise we've got no striker. But Jeff Shee needs to. I know what Sutty said about Jeff Shee. I agree with Sutty. Jeff Shee needs to say, look, we need to step up instead of panicking, because you know what Jeff Shee is. He just wants Wolves to go to the Championship. The club are not setting standards to their standards. I remember back in 2019 when Nuno came to the club. And then Wolves were in Europe. But I feel like the Wolves are not going to be in Europe because they can't be bothered. The owners can't be bothered. And with the season ticket prices as well. They've gone up the roof. And Wolves fans are paying this much money to see a team that are playing like Man United when they played against Grimsby.
Love it. Connor, absolutely fantastic call. Absolutely. Any of you guys got anything to say to Connor?
I just want to say, I love that headset. I actually thought at first Connor was flying a plane.
Just say, Dave.
Sutty, yeah.
Myself and Connor are related in no way, but I love his passion.
Also, I know about the transfer they're getting. Instead of bringing all this youth, bring in some top class players. They're going to take Wolves into Europe. You've got clubs like Liverpool, Chelsea. You got clubs like Liverpool and Chelsea that are bringing top class players. Just develop.
Adrian Richards has said that the fans should storm Molineux with you and Sutty at the front. You down for that?
I agree. You know what? Bring me in for owner. I will sort the club out.
Absolutely brilliant. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. This your debut, Connor?
Yeah, it's my debut. I've been watching your channel for so long, and I've been like just watching you guys talk about them, and also Magic as well. Magic said they couldn't beat Bilston. I don't think Wolves can even beat Bilston right now with the club with the team they've got. And also, Dave,
yesterday.
Vitor Pereira keeps saying in his press conference he's going to bring ambition. Where's the ambition in the team? There's no communication, no spark, no teamwork, no urgency. So Vitor Pereira needs to say to Jeff C, look, bring in the players I need, otherwise I'm out the door. Simple. No excuses no more, Wolves. Start buying players or you're going to be relegated. It's simple.
Connor, you deserve to go viral, mate. Absolutely fantastic. Brilliant debut call. Love your passion, mate. Absolutely love your passion. A young man that's felt the need, click the link, and had the strength to come on in front of over 13,000 people, 1,300 people, and speak your mind. And fair play to you.
Also, I know with people like with the what's going on with like last time I actually went to a Wolves game. And when I was at that Wolves game against Aston Villa last couple of seasons, Wolves were even better with Gary O'Neill at that time. But now I think Jeff Sheen needs to realise that this club is run by the fans as well. The fans have got their own opinions to say stuff about Jeff Sheen. And Jeff Sheen needs to realise that the fans are not joking no more. They want change. And it needs to happen fast. That's it.
Absolutely brilliant.
Can you imagine Connor's mum telling him to go and clean his bedroom, and then he turns around and gives her what for like that? That bedroom ain't getting tidied. Well done, son.
Connor, brilliant call, mate. Thank you so much for coming on, and I hope you'll come on again in the future. Well said.
I'll tell you what, I'll come on the next one, and if anything happens, then yeah.
And you're in no way related to Sutty.
No. But also, I've been hearing like about Jürgen Strand-Larsen. He's not going nowhere. Jeff Shee cannot sell Jürgen Strand-Larsen. He can't sell Jürgen Strand-Larsen. Not in a million years can he sell Jürgen Strand-Larsen. Because he's the only one that's got backbone in the team. He's the only one that's got backbone in the team. You got the Wolves defenders that are not. You've got a captain there that's not saying, "Look, lads, get up the pitch, defend, press." I was listening to the game, and Mikey Burrows even said, and Andy Thompson even said that Wolves' defence is so open. It's so open. Close the spaces down. It's simple. And attack. Just attack. It's ridiculous that Wolves fans have got there to spend their money.
I hope your windows are closed.
Connor,
I feel like I'm getting shouted at.
Mic drop. Connor, I'm gonna have to say thank you very much to get the next guest on. But if you've got a mic, Drop it. That's absolutely brilliant. Thank you for coming on.
Well done, Connor.
Well
So
done,
that's
pal.
Connor. Well done. A young man. We've got another young man that wants to come on. Then we'll get back onto the thing. Another caller is coming on now. Scott, what do you want to say?
Evening, Dave, and I just want to say one thing before I start. That was an amazing debut by Connor. Absolutely well done. Absolutely.
What do you want to say?
I never do this ever, but I'm actually going to go in on the players and go in like not holding back anymore because I'm sick of it. Sick of it now. First goal. The players, there's no one stopping anyone. There's no one marking. The players are all out wide, and no one ever marks the goal scorer. The goal scorer is always someone that's open. We haven't got anyone tracking back. We're supposed to have win backs that go up and down the pitch, but they're always like in the middle. There's no one ever sitting back. This is not, and we're not a defensive team. We're not steadily defensive at all for the first goal. First goal goes in and we're 1-0 down. What do you expect anymore? Because you just see the same thing over and over again. And I saw this, I was on a space with Carl the other day on X, and we were talking about the players' positioning, and no one ever positions themselves very well. No one. It's just like you're watching a League 2 team and they're like playing defensively for the first time in their lives. You don't ever see what you used to see under Nuno. You don't see it anymore.
Well, yeah, no, absolutely.
And then luckily we pulled it back to 1-1. Great goal by Hee-Chan. After the goal, after his missed penalty against West Ham, I think he deserves it. Hopefully his morale and confidence. Oh yeah, I see that. Then we just all go missing again on the second goal. Who's marking Iliman Ndiaye? Why hasn't Andre got rid of the ball beforehand? He keeps it by the corner and doesn't clear it. Nobody clears it. He can't get rid of the ball. Then the ball falls to Iliman Ndiaye and it's 2-1, and he does a Wolf celebration. So you know what? He can go back to Everton and hopefully drown in Merseyside, because that is just absolutely disrespectful. And then the third goal. Third goal. What we doing? I thought we would have learned from the past two mistakes, but clearly not. Clearly, all we're doing is just learning from the mistakes. And clearly, Victor must have said at halftime, you know what, lads? I love what you're doing when it's 2-1 and we're just not getting rid of anything. Let's just keep it going. Let's keep this mentality up. Let's keep the pace of conceding goals, not getting any points this week, because clearly, I think it's amazing. And no, we don't. We definitely don't.
Scott,
so what we got to do is we've got to hit. We've got to hit reset on the whole club. Reset this whole club, absolutely.
Fantastic. Scott, ever so much. Thank you, because we've got to get on to the next subject.
Honestly.
Thank you very much for your contributions tonight as well. I appreciate it. Well done, Scott.
Absolutely, Dave. Absolutely.
See you on the next one, mate. Well, we do have someone called Harry that's come in, but we do need to, because I know Kieran's got to go in a minute. So I just want to switch tack because the young lads come on. Great to hear their passion, but I do.
Kieran's got to go and choose a new song or something.
Whilst we've got Kieran from the old goal pack, I do want to touch on the field to goal, because it is a topic this week. We need to talk about it, and we need to discuss it a little bit.
Play. Can you play field to goal the whole way through, please?
No.
I'm here to sing it for you. I'm here to sing it for you.
Yeah, Kieran can sing it. There is a poll going on. There is a poll going on in the chat at the moment about 4 Wolves songs: The Liquidator, Wonder of You, Hi Ho, and Those Were the Days that you can vote on. Now, look, there's been questions being asked about fields of goal. So me and Kieran are on the match day experience group, so we can give you a little bit of insight on how this has all come about. Obviously, Kieran's part of the old goal pack, and they do an absolutely fantastic job. Through the match day experience group, they gave Kieran and his team the opportunity to develop the old goal pack, fan-led, with the flags. There is a view from the top at Wolves that they want a unique anthem. I think that's they wanted something that's unique to Wolves, I think. And I think there were all sorts of things were being looked at. I think what's happened was, and Kieran, tell me if I'm wrong here when I explain this to everyone, that after the Jota tribute with Fields of Gold and the music, there was, and the club monitor social media, so they will be monitoring all the negative that's coming back from it, especially this week. And there was a lot of people that were calling for it to be calling for it to be the anthem. Should go. We should carry it on because it's referencing to Wolves. So that a lot of the fan groups, podcasts were asked to do polls. Pretty much all of the podcasts and channels have done polls. I know the Trust did a poll. I'm not sure the Old Gold Pack did. I know various fan groups around the world and the country, and around the country ran polls. There's Facebook polls that were ran. We were asked to do polls and then feed it back. So we did a poll. This is all I can say is our poll that we did, and these were the results of the polls that we ran. Just as we were asked to run polls to get feedback, over 500 votes there, which was would you get behind Fields of Gold as an anthem? As you can see, this is actually on X, and there was over 80% that was sort of positive about it. So that was on X. We ran another one on Instagram as well, which I shall. Can I show you that one? Yeah, let me show you the Instagram one as well, so you can see that. I'm just showing people these sort of things so they can kind of get an understanding on where it came to. So this was the one that was run on Instagram as well. If that comes up for you now, is that coming onto stage? What's happening with this stuff? There's the Instagram one. Like Fields of Gold, would you get behind it? Again, quite positive. We run a similar one on YouTube. That was not so in. But there's a lot of polls, and this is just us. We didn't just do these polls. Loads were polls. So it was fed back. And then I think a decision was made that they were going to replace Hi-Ho, which I think was always going to happen anyway. And they've gone with Fields of Gold. And obviously it's bombed. We're not playing very well. I can feel the feedback, but there was a lot consulted, and then obviously you hear people on social media saying, well, who was consulted? Well, there's loads of polls that were done, and at the time there was a positive response. So Kieran, I don't know if you want to add anything to that from your point of view. It's no fan group, it's all come from the club to ask the fan groups to get feedback.
Yeah, I think that's a fair comment. I think everything that you said there is pretty much bang on. I think, it's always difficult when there's something that comes from Wolves and, how they want to implement a change for whatever reason. They rightly or wrongly thought that, this would be the right kind of thing and the right moment following, the success of obviously what happened with the TIFO and the tribute and how well that went. But I think, there's only going to be a select amount of people that they can kind of get in touch with in a really quick way and get a kind of feel for all of that. And to be completely honest, around that time when, all of the different fan groups, podcasters, vloggers, loads of different people were asked, there was a general feeling that it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, to kind of try it out. But, we also, kind of said to the club that if you're going to do it, then it needs to be something that's implemented fairly quickly, and that we'd get feedback to them as quickly as possible, which we all did. I had a poll that was running up on our Twitter as well. We went about it a slightly different way. Ours was, how would you feel about Fields of Gold being part of the build up to kickoff, maybe alongside or even instead of Hi-Ho Silver Lining? 48% of the 800 votes that we had on there was to add Fields of Gold, not necessarily replace it. Now, I know that's only a very small representation, and not everybody's going to be on social media. We know better than most that there's a lot of fan opinion that doesn't come from channels like this, and people don't watch necessarily these kind of podcasts, and they don't watch all of the things. They don't necessarily log on to onto internet forums and things like that. So it's always going to be a select amount of people that kind of give that feedback back. Do I think that, you know, it would have gone down slightly better if results were going our way? Potentially. Is there a really negative feeling around the club at the moment? Definitely. Is it part of the thing that we're kind of thinking, is this a Fosun move? Is this, you know, just another change to kind of the club that we know, right? The points that I made at the very, very start, you know, is this still Wolverhampton Wanderers, the club that we all supported before Fosun came in? These are all valid questions, and everybody's feelings and everybody's opinions on it are absolutely valid. But like Dave said, you know, this isn't something that a particular fan group has kind of come up with. This isn't something that the Matchday Experience necessarily have kind of come up with. This is something that has been consulted by a few people who would like to think that, you know, they represent the fan base in the right way. Are we going to get it right all the time? Absolutely not. And I'm not saying that this isn't the right thing to do. I just think the timing of it, and because of how somber it is, maybe it should just be kept for that moment. Hindsight's a wonderful thing, but I think that just the way that it's kind of been gone about, the timings of it, it's felt a little bit just kind of thrown in there. Hi ho at the time that it's played doesn't necessarily feel right for me. But this is all, you know, feedback that the club will need, and they, you know, as good as they are to make that change, I'm sure they will listen to feedback that we've got to give, and they will 100% be aware of the feeling online right now.
Absolutely, and that feedback will be definitely getting back, because, you know, you can see the reaction. But I just thought, you know, with Face Up, we'll try and explain so you can see how the process has gone. And Ricky's asking the question here: what about the Wolves Trust? Were they involved? The Wolves Trust, the 1877 Trust, if you're a member of that, they ran a poll as well, I think. Jason, then Suki, I know, Jason, you wanted to...
Look, I'll make my points really, really brief about it. It's always going to be a bone of contention, because there's 28, 30,000 people every match, and everyone's got a different favourite, and different things get different people going. If we won our first 3 opening games, Dave, they could come out to chitty, chitty, bang, bang, and no one would give a shit. On to you, Suki.
Yeah, Suki.
Just a quick one, Dave. What would you say is our most raucous pre-match atmosphere?
Well, when the Man United game.
Let's go away from home. Where's our most raucous pre-match atmosphere?
Chelsea.
Your diehards, mostly, who go away from home, I'd say.
You're going to say Chelsea.
Absolutely. You can feel the stand move underneath you when the liquidator starts. And we're in a position now where we need that kind of atmosphere. And I guarantee you now, whether you like it or not, if you play that at our next home game, that place will be absolutely bouncing. That's fact.
They won't do it though. They won't do it though because of the bad language connotation, which obviously as an adult but that's why they won't do it, because
we sing other songs that have connotations to our illustrious name, but that particular one, nobody says anything about those. Those were the days, my friend. Ends with F off West Brom, the Wolves.
Yeah.
So you can't have it always. You can't say, we can't have that because of that. But we can sing those were the days.
Absolutely.
It would be an absolute instant atmosphere boost.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just going to come on to Jack now to give him his coming on this particular subject. And don't ever say we don't cover off contentious subjects, because we'll face it head on and give people their opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gutted really, because I've been to see Sting 3 times. I was at the police reunion, and I love the band. I love his music. One of his albums is one of my top 3 favourite albums, and I really wanted it to work, and I was all for it. it is just like Kieran sort of said, and I think we're all in agreement. It's the timing of it. Jason's took my joke away because I was going to say we could come out to the Okie Kokie as long as we were. It doesn't matter. In fact, that would be more apt at the minute to come out to the Okie Kokie. But it's just a shame because it would have been unique to us. I was disagreeing with people a lot. People have been quite vehemently saying it's too slow. And the best football anthem in Great Britain is Hibs, is Sunshine on Leith, in my opinion.
Amazing.
That's
amazing.
That's about death, essentially. You know, so it's nothing to do with the pace of the song, my opinion, or how fast or slow it is. The timing's awful. Unfortunately, with the timing of it, I think they've probably buried it forever. It's a shame because it would have been unique to us. Hopefully, some lyrics would have been added to it or changed at some point, but nobody else could have had that song. And it's a shame, really, because it is a must. Again, I'll tell you what it is. It's another botched thing by Fawson. And if you can't get a song right before kick-off, then, you know, it sums everything up for me. You know.
Yeah, and I think people are sort of looking around going, what do we do with this? And it's like they don't know the words. And, you know, I think the intentions were well meant. You know, You'll Never Walk Alone, Liverpool is a ballad, I mean, Sunderland saw that being going across social media. They're singing an Elvis song, ballad. Why I can't think what it was, but it was all over social media yesterday. You know, a ballad, and we do come out. I think we do come out the Robert Plant stuff, the Cashmere, and all that sort of stuff in the building.
Yeah.
It really gets you, and then it just went flat, which is why we're running this poll. There's only 4 songs I could think of off the back. Hi Ho, which is sang by 3 or 4 of the clubs. Those were the days for me. If there was a terrace version done of it by by maybe the Wolfpack Howlers or someone like that, and it was because it's a bit slow. The actual I can't think of the lady that sang it. It's a bit slow, and we sing it quite fast when we sing it on the terrace.
Mary Hopkins.
Mary Hopkins, yeah. If there's a mid tempo of that, and there's a terrace version done specially, that potentially could work. Obviously, Wonder of You, we've sang. I love that because of my dad. I'm not saying that's the right one. So, the Liquidator. The Liquidator has got about 50% of the votes on this particular show at the moment, but I don't know, maybe if they want to change it, there's an argument for going, okay, why don't we 1 week play this one, 1 week play that one week play the next one, and then just see which one catches on. And at least we know the words to it. So Tig,
I'm at a loss of everything in this club at the moment, Dave, and I'm still recovering from Connor. So move on to someone else.
Jason.
No, you're right. Listen, like I said earlier, we're never going to keep everyone happy, but that might be a good idea. Doing a different song each match day, but I don't know. The problem is, you know, we lose a couple more games, and the atmosphere is going to be so flat they could play the Liquidator. Well, the Liquidator get on pumping, but I'm just saying the atmosphere is going to be so flat that you know, you're all quite right, guys. The timing is just. You know, it's just you know not
Jason, you know what would lift the atmosphere, mate? A decent transfer window.
Oh,
you know what I mean? We shouldn't be bothered about this or even having a conversation about it, should we? I know it's been a big deal because it's come about, but
yeah, no, I just wanted to cover it off because it's been, you know, there's been a lot on social about it, and it's hot topic this week. You know,
absolutely.
At the end of the day, you never please anyone. Personally, I get where Such is coming from. I understand it. I just think we're singing about them lot down the road, you know. But
Dave, you can replace West Brom with Fosun in that chance.
Yeah, exactly. And I would love us to have our own song that is uniquely ours. But I think we've got some songs that could be uniquely ours that we know anyway. So maybe it's something we could feed back, or people can feed back on that. We'll definitely feed back all the comments. And like Kieran said, they will 100%. Kieran, they'll 100% see the kickback on it, won't they? And I think it's
they're already aware. They already know, and they don't need us. They don't need the fan groups to tell them that that's the way that the feeling is. You know, the social media team at Wolves and everybody that's like that, they're very, very good at their job. You know, they will be 100% aware of everything that's going on. So yeah, I guess, you know, what the final point that I would say on it is, you know, just make people aware, you know, be respectful. You don't have to blame anyone. You don't have to be, you know, disrespectful to fan groups. You don't have to be disrespectful to,
of course,
specific individuals on this. However, you know, if you've got a point and you feel strongly enough about it, then, you know, get it out there. You know, everyone's entitled to their opinion. So, did they get it right? Have we got it right? No, probably not on this occasion. But, you know, I think, as Jack mentioned, it could be something special. And, you know, all of these other songs that kind of come out, the Sunshine on Leith is the perfect example of this, you know, really slow, ballady, but sung with a lot of heart and a lot of intention. If the results were going the right way, then I think, you know, it'd be a completely different topic. But to Sutty's point, you know, it's a shame that this is what we're having to talk about, and it's a shame that this is, you know, just one of those minor things that it shouldn't even be an issue, but it's just one thing on top of another, on top of another, on top of another. That's just weighing us down at the moment. So it's really disappointing.
Exactly, well said. So let's move on from that. We've covered it off. Transfer window. Okay, I think that's fair to cover that one next. But before we do that, let's just bring in Dave from New York and Denny, who's always thingy, just to finish off the match, and then we're going to talk about the transfer window and the deadline day tomorrow and everything that's happening around that. Here's Denny from Ireland.
And how do you squash all that into a short video? What I just watched was mad. It was mad. There was so much happened. Starting lineup, no Strand Larson in the starting lineup. Kind of counterintuitive to say I hope he's injured, but, you know, hopefully it's not Newcastle related. Wolves started slow again. Grealish and Dewsbury Hall took them apart down that side, and Everton deserved their lead, deserved the goal, and for the whole first half Everton were a much better team and deservedly in front in the first half, good into half time. I mean, nice goal, Manetzi linking up with Hwang, a lovely early ball, great finish by Hwang. Then we're into the second half, and it kind of continued in the same vein. Everton had a goal disallowed, but again, they started so much brighter than Wolves. Did get their third goal, and it looked like it was just going to peter out at that, with Everton being the better team. But then the mad stuff happened. The subs came on. Fer Lopez was amazing. Rodrigo Gomez was fantastic. Sasha was playing the role as a target man really, really well. And anything could have happened. It could have been any score. It could have been any score. Very hard to kind of put it into words, really. I'll have to dissect it. I only just finished, so it's kind of still a bit raw. What to say? Wolves are definitely a work in progress, whereas Everton are way further down the track than Wolves are. For the next game, I'd love to see Rodrigo Gomez start, and for Jackson Choo-Choo to replace him. With the speed Choo-Choo has to bomb down that wing with the tired legs of the other team, especially being so early in the season that it still is. My man of the match is going to be Rodrigo Gomez. Nice little goal, great cameo in that second half. Special shout out to Fer Lopez. I think he was brilliant when he came on too. And of course, as always, Andre and Gomez are just Rolls Royce. You can't fault those two guys. They're outstanding. But my man of the match is going to be Rodrigo Gomez. The match for an entertainment spectacle, 6 out of 10. It was a bit wild. I don't know, as a neutral, they'd probably see it and go, that was a bit mad. 6 out of 10 for entertainment. From the Wolves' perspective, another loss, a loss at Molyneux. Slow start in both halves. Everton were by far the better team, in my opinion. So I'm giving it from a Wolves side. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10. Alright, so look, that's it. I could talk all day, man. I could talk all day, but to keep it short for Dave, shout out to Dave. God bless everyone. Bye.
Fantastic. And I just want to go, as we go on to the transfer window, go back to Kieran, because Kieran's got a shoot off, and then we'll carry on. But Kieran, if you just want to come in with your points on the transfer window, and then again, thank you ever so much for giving up your time to come on tonight, mate. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries. just want to also say what a shirt that he was wearing in that. That was way back when. Need to find one of them out.
According to the Wolf Whistle, it's a 2003 away.
Yeah. Thanks, Jace. Appreciate that. Yeah, transfer window. I think it's probably been one, where it's kind of bumped into action in the last kind of couple of weeks or so. We've probably been more active in the last couple of weeks with kind of rumours coming in and going out and lots of different things. There's a couple of things that really baffle me about why we let Tommy Doyle go on loan.
My dad wants to know that as well.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't really understand that when we need the homegrown thing. It baffles me. Another strange decision. But I think it's going to be an interesting kind of last 21 hours now, however long it is until it closes, 7 p.m. tomorrow. So I think it's going to be interesting. I don't really understand losing Sasha out on loan. If that's going to be,
I like him every time in pre-season. Every time he's come on, and in the Premier, he's made a difference. In the game in West Ham, he came on 81 minutes, and he just caused chaos. He did it again. I think he's a great option to come off the bench. Personally, that's me.
But I think that the final point that I'd like to make is he also mentioned in sorry, I forgot his name on the last video, but
Denny.
Yeah, the quality of signings was absolutely clear from Everton yesterday. Proven Premier League quality in players like Jack Grealish, Dewsbury Hall, who are just like miles ahead. Like the players that we're signing aren't coming from a Premier League background. They haven't necessarily got that, but Everton are absolutely kind of miles ahead from where we are. And I think that's another, really, really disappointing thing from us. You've got a player like Jack Grealish who was absolutely running the game first half for Everton. So it's going to be interesting. But let's be honest, we'll all still be here. We'll all still be moaning in a week's time about whatever else it is that's kind of come up. But I'm going to leave it at that before my blood pressure gets too high and I get angry about something else. But thanks for having me on, guys. Really appreciate it.
Kieran, can I just say one final thing? And I believe this will be on behalf of everyone. Thank you for the amazing job that you and your team did, the hours that you put in. And you said to me on a private message that one day you'll look back when you're older with your grandkids and they'll be able to say, my dad or my grandkid, my granddad, he helped organise that. You did an incredible job, mate. And
incredible.
Hard work, and we just want to say well done and keep up the great work. The old goal back.
And that's, you know what? I was just going to say, I want to echo them comments. It's so important. We're on about getting the music pumping around the ground, and Kieran and the team have done an unbelievable job in creating a better atmosphere. And in some matches, it's been an unbelievable atmosphere. But listen, it's a job for us all. It's a job for every one of these supporters to go into that stadium and help create and build on that atmosphere. So, well done, Kieran.
Yeah, and I think the final point that I'd like to make on that, OGP was kind of born out of wanting to get some of that bite back to Molineux, and it's a work in progress, absolutely is. But it's not just old gold pack. We are the guys that just stand out and put the flags out at the start of the game and do all of that work. It takes all of the fans to get involved for it to actually be something. And the mosaic and the tifo and everything that we did for Jota was incredible. And it's really difficult for me because I don't like blowing smoke up my own arse and I don't like blowing my own trumpet. But whenever people have come up to me, in the South Bank or at Bournemouth last week and just gone, "Oh my God, it was amazing, thank you," I'm like, yeah, it was. But that's down to you guys. It's not down to anything else. We have the ideas, we put them into progress, and then the fans deliver on it. So that's all I'll say on it. But we can't do anything without you lot. It's as simple as that.
And please don't take the flags home.
Yeah. To be fair, that's actually, there's been a lot less of that. I think people are coming around to that now. There's still the odd one, but yeah.
Yeah, no. See, I know you've been very modest there, Kim, but I know how hard you and the team have worked on that. It's not just about that. It's the designers that put the ideas together. It's the production. It's the volunteers on the day that started it like early in the morning to put get the mosaic and stuff, the tifo, producing that, the fun. It takes.
If only Jeff Shee put as much effort in. That's what I'll say.
Absolutely.
It's all right. Like, Connor's going for the running of the club. I can't do that, mate.
I feel sorry for his teacher.
Yeah, he was good, to be honest. He was passionate. We love it. Kieran, thanks ever so much. I know you got to jump off, mate, but I just wanted to get that in before you went.
And thank you for all the comments in the chat as well. I've seen them all. Thank you. It means a lot.
Brilliant. Nice.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, Kieran. Right, who wants to kick off next with the transfer? Who wants to go next?
I'll just echo on some points that have been made. I mean, I can't really see much more incomings now. You look at people like the generators on Twitter, Fabrizio Romano, whatever his name is. He comes out with all the information, obviously, way before a lot of other people. So it looks like that Tolu's coming in. And we do desperately need a striker with, obviously, the players that have left and the players that are going to leave. Great news that obviously we're keeping on to Strand Larson, but I've just got to echo the comments of everyone earlier. The fact that the quality that has gone out, we haven't replaced. We haven't got. You can't see. We're saying we're struggling to see where the goals are coming from. There is no match winners on that pitch. For me, yesterday, the exciting bit for me was actually seeing two players in Lopez and Gomez with a bit of flair, something about them. Someone who's going to be creative. Because we're just lacking so much, like Cunha, he could win us a match out of nothing. He's gone now, it's done. But we are just lacking that so much. And there seems to be more talk of players going out than the players coming in. And like I said, we haven't replaced them with the quality that we should have done. And my obviously biggest worry, like I said, is the players that are coming in, they're going to take time to gel, which we haven't got. So I don't want to sound all doom and gloom, but, there's people out there. And we've spent a lot of money. We have spent a lot of money. But we need a couple of oven-ready players. We need a couple of players who've been around the Premier League, who know what they're doing, who, yes, they might be a bit more mature, which doesn't suit the Fosun profile. They want to bring young players in who they can sign for 20 million and sell for 40 million. This is why we won't sign a 40 million pound player unless they feel that we could potentially selling for 60 to 80 million quid. So we're not going to be signing them. So we're shopping in the 15 to maybe 25, 30 million bracket at most. And we're signing players to make money on them. It's as simple as that.
Absolutely. Good points. Jack or Sutty, you wouldn't have come in on any of those points next?
Go on, Jack.
I won't be surprised if Strand Larson leaves. In fact, I expect him to, only because I know I expect him to, and if he does, I think we'll be relegated, if I'm being honest. And I know it's a ridiculous idea that he should be sold, and Jeff Shee saying he's not going to be sold. Well, there's no way there's not going to be somebody leaning on Jeff Shee at Fosun. And again, if they're being offered 65 million, pushing 70 million, they're going to be They're going to be treading on his head, telling him to find a replacement. So we'll see. But yeah, I am losing the faith with it. That's about it. Sorry to sound depressing, but yeah, I'll leave Sutty to summarise.
I think Sutty's been making plenty of notes on this particular point. So, Sutty, floor's for you.
I think, Dave, that we should put a motion forward to whatever league we're in next year to basically say we'll start at the end of September, dish all the first 8 or 9 games off, and just have a really long pre-season when we can get all of our signings that we got on the 31st of August together, gel them into a bit of a unit, and we'll just start the 1st of October because we just give up the first 8 games of every season.
I think we've won one game in August in the last 4 or 5 seasons. It's crazy.
We've won 1 out of 22 in August and September in 8 seasons.
That's no coincidence. You have a bad month.
That's shocking.
4 or 5 years in a row. That's more than a trend, isn't it?
We are, and people say, it's not as easy as what you're making out. Bournemouth sell a player. There's one in the next day, and the one they wanted.
The producer Emma was talking about that, and she said, like Bournemouth, they seem to sell a player, and the next day, boom, they've got the replacement in.
Yeah. They're just better all over the club. This club's a cesspit at times, Dave, of just mediocrity. Why are we settling for just existing? Why aren't we saying excite us, give us something to cling to, give us a plan? What's your plan, Jeff? Tell us what your plan is. What roadmap have you got for us other than 16th or 17th?
Yeah.
What is it? Tell us. Let us know. If you're going to spend 50 million quid on the stadium and we're going to finish 15th or 16th, fine. Tell us what you're going to do and do it. Don't tell us things and then don't do it, because that's what really pisses us off.
Yeah.
So I think stick to your word, what you're going to do, but you're just offering us up drivel every year. You're sucking the life out of us as a fan base. We just want something to cling to, make us competitive.
You know what? And that's the thing. But this then transmits to potential targets and signings. We've already been turned down by a couple of players because they don't want to come to a sinking ship, and we're sailing so close to the wind every year. We're playing this stupid game, right, where we're falling further and further down the table. It can't go on, because what happens is eventually it breaks.
You're not wrong. To be honest, I'll echo a little bit what thinking, because you know me, I do try and be quite a positive person. And I always try and be balanced and stuff like that, which is good. It's good to have lots of different views come on, and we try and facilitate that. But I do feel like Molyneux's Hogwarts, and you want to talk about there's dementias sucking the life out of Molyneux, and all we want is a bit of magic back. That's what we want, and it's kind of like we go in there now. And it's not just this year, it's year on year on year. And we get to the start of the season and we're like, let's crack on. And then we're back to square one again. And the fans are fed up with it. We don't want to be. You did have that conversation that we talked about in the members chat. And I agree with the fact that we shouldn't be just accepting mediocrity. We can accept a couple of years of, okay, we've got to rebuild, we're doing this. This is the plan. This is the roadmap. But there isn't even a roadmap. And the investment in the infrastructure, the only things that they're doing, they've done the new changing room, everything that they need to do to tick the boxes with the Premier League, they're doing. They've done some stuff at Compton. But the fans, and I've mentioned it before, the match day experience for a lot of the fans is absolutely awful. Even to be able to go to the toilet, they just can't go to get a drink at half time or a pie. Unless they leave 10 minutes before the end of the half, they've got no chance. And you see the fantastic stadiums like Everton and what Tottenham have done, and Birmingham City with their owners. And the Birmingham City owners are coming out and going, do you know what? We're going to buy this piece of land and we're going to build this stadium and we're going to build a complex around it. And it's going to take a few years to do it. We're going to get all the planning permissions, and this is what we're going to do. And when Fosun originally came in, that's what they said, and we were all on board with it. We're all on the Fosun train, and some people have completely got on. Some people are hanging on to hope, and it's all come off. It's literally, sorry for another metaphor, it's all come off the rails. And right now, if things don't turn really, really quickly, it's going to be a massive pile up, a massive crash, and it's going to get nasty.
And like you said, Dave, there is absolutely no plan. There's no sound bites they give us. We just don't know the plan for we do know the plan for the club, and it is 16th, 17th. Keep the Fosun brand. They're getting the best advertising they could ever get from being associated with Wolves, by owning Wolves. So for that reason, we've got no idea where we're going to it. But they must know this is a conglomerate, Dave, that owns us. They must know the impact of relegation, right? In every guise, in every form it comes in, but most of all financially. They must understand the implications behind that, surely. But if they genuinely, truly, really did, there is no way they should be running a football club this way.
Jack.
Yeah, sorry, I was a bit mesmerised by Jason then. Sorry. Yeah, absolutely. We had all this stuff when the first came, like the rumours of us moving down to the I-54 and stuff like that, and a new ground and hotel and all this complex and stuff like that. And what do you say? It's obviously not there, is it? It's not in any plans. There's still no plans to give the place a lick of paint. They
have started with the paint, but I was walking past the
10 bollards.
Yeah,
10 bollards.
They've done the roof for the Billy Wright and all that. But I was walking past the John Ireland stand, and you'll walk past it, and there's broken windows that have been there for years.
Yeah,
you know, it looks grimy and
5 years for a lick of paint. You know what I mean? We've got no chance of a new stadium, have we? It's just depressing because we have that, you know, where it is. We know where it is in football. A lot of it's momentum, and that idiot, absolute knobhead, coming out and saying we were kind of lucky under Nuno in that new interview. It's like, well, he doesn't even realise now his mistake. He's seen Nuno, what he's done at Forest, and he's still saying the same shite. He still believes it. He still believes he's right. Despite watching what Nuno was gone and done at Forest, even improved on what he did at Wolves. Now, what he should have done was kept hold of the manager, backed him. They should have given him that 30-40 million pound that Nuno wanted for Tammy Abraham when Rel got clattered, and maybe we were talking different. You know what I mean? Maybe
it was a sliding doors moment. That was.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And you know, it was unlucky. We know all that stuff, but it's momentum, and if we get down, we might not come back for a very long time again. And by the time we do come back up, Blues will be playing in one of the best stadiums in the country. And you know what? Fair play to them. That's what happens when you get owners who actually give.
We've already been overtaken by so many other clubs, and now it's going to be Championship clubs overtaking us with their ambitions and their strategies and their plans.
Because we tread in water, and if you do not invest and move forward. If you stand still, you go backwards. Sutty, are you wanting to come in there?
Just quickly, Dave. I don't really know this. I'm asking the question. How many Premier League football clubs make a profit every year? Can someone tell us that?
If someone can know in the comment section, we've got like 1,750 people watching live right now. If anyone,
I would say one Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Would be interesting to know that. But like you see the likes of Wrexham as well. You see Bournemouth, what they've done with their infrastructure. They've got plans. They're thinking the future. And this is where, I mean, I've always been like, look, we've got to go back 8-9 years. And Fosun have come in and they've given us sustained Premier League football. And we you know, fair play on that and good. And the first 4 years were brilliant up until COVID. Everything was great. We were all on the same page. It was one pack. We were all together in it. And you can take a blip, but like 7th, 7th, 10th, 13th, 14th, 16th, we're currently 20th in the league again at the end of August. And owners that have got do not want to sell. This is why I think we may be up for sale to the right bidder, that they're that if someone comes in, they might sell. The reason I say that is because there's no major investment in the future, in future plans, such as the stadium and things like that. And that's why I think if they're not looking at doing any real big investment in the infrastructure, which by the way doesn't get covered by PSR, then maybe they are open to a sale. But again, you've got to get the right owner that comes in and they hand the baton on.
Yeah, they're definitely open to a sale because they're an investment company. So they'll be open to a sale, but it's what price they want for it.
Yeah, well, I think we're probably 400 to 450 million. Don't forget they bought us for 45 million. That's after X amount of years and has been sustainable and stuff. And to be fair, they have written off debts owed to them. So I know that people say they're just taking money out. They're not necessarily doing that, but we're not investing and moving forward. It's sort of that investment has stopped. They're not covering the losses. They just cover the losses if there are any, and that's it. But there's no going forward, which is why maybe after 9 years, the baton needs to be handed over to someone else.
I was just going to say quickly, I appreciate what Fowson have done, but, you know, they're not running this like a football club. They're running it, you know, like a business. And although I can see the benefits to that, equally, football is an industry like no other. And there does have to be a bit of risk taking. There does have to be a bit of gambling. They're so cautious, and they're just, like I said, this cautious attitude and approach that they're taking, and some of these nonsensical decisions will catch us out, because, like we've all agreed on, there is no plan to move forward at all. There's nothing, and like I said, they don't even come out and tell us. There's no sound bites, nothing to get us excited. This is why we all get frustrated.
Yeah,
just quickly, Dave, I've just read there 16 clubs had a loss in 23-24. I bet you 14 of them was above us, at least. And I guarantee you now, all their owners realise that this is an industry like no other, and you have to accept that you've got to put money in ways, and they can't just put out loads of money in, but you've got to take a hit in this game, else your asset will plummet in value.
And it is. And if we fall into the Championship, our value is going to plummet from around 400 to 450 million to 150 million overnight, because we're going to drop. So, you know, investment is across it. And that means investment in the infrastructure, investment in players, quality players. And I've got no issue with bringing in potential and people that, you know, that's good succession plan. And we did it with Jota with Neto. And Rodrigo Gomez, we've done it in certain things, and it does work. But you can plan for that, but you've still got to have a really strong squad around that for them to be able to develop. I've got a young lad that wants to come in. Another one, Harry, has got a word. He's another caller tonight, so let's get him on quickly, and then we'll finish off on this section, and we'll move on to Q&A. Harry, you're on mute. There you go.
Hello, you all right?
Yes,
Hello,
Harry,
pal.
what would you like to say?
I'd just like to say a few things about this club and all that and what's been happening. So far, it has not been a very good start. We have lost 3 in a row. We've got no points. We're 5 points behind Sunderland. And I have nothing else to say. And I've got a few things to say. You know, when you were saying about us being relegated to the Championship, we could be relegated to the Championship. I think it's not actually a bad idea. And hear me out. Okay, there may be a few reasons why that is a good idea. Because this is what my granddad had said before. Our budget is around 400 million at least. And Jeff Shinfoes have been paying all this money for our players and all that. And if we do go down to the Championship, our budget will plummet a lot to like 40-odd mil. And Jeff Shinfosen won't be able to afford that kind of money. So they would want to back out and leave the club and then get a new ownership in after they sell the club, a better ownership who knows how to deal with managers and players and get us back up to that spot. So that's what I kind of think could happen.
Harry, I mean, I understand that there are people that say, "Oh yeah, let's go down to the Championship and rebuild." I don't buy into that. Personally, I think you're entitled.
Yeah, I understand. It sucks.
Getting relegated for me is would be a disaster.
Disaster.
It would
yes,
be a disaster.
Utter disaster.
There's no guarantee of bouncing back. We've been there before. I don't see why they do that, because they've got us into the Premier League. Their assets are going to drop. We're going to lose a load of players. And we might win a few more games, but we want to win a few more games in the Premier League. I think
exactly
there we want to be. Thank you for coming on, Harry. Much appreciated.
Just one more thing before I go. Vitor Pereira said in his press conference that his dream was to be in the Premier League, and he needs to show that in the next few games. He needs to show what it means to be in the Premier League. If he said that in his first press conference, he needs the Jeff Shinfosen to back him, get the right players in, and make sure this team is solved. Because if we don't sort it out in the next few weeks, we could, like what you said, go down to the Championship, then League One, League Two, and there'll be no Steve Bull to save us this time.
Thank you very much, Harry. Well said, and thanks for coming on and giving up your time, mate. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Up the Wanderers.
Up the Wanderers, mate. Up the Wanderers. Another young caller coming in there. Anything that you want to add to any of his comments, guys?
Yeah, we don't want to get to the Championship, do we? We've been there. We know what that's like. Even I don't care how we do it. If a ball deflects off someone's arse in the 6-yard box on the last day, and we stay up by a point, I'll take that.
Of course,
you know, because you don't know what's going to happen there if you don't.
Yeah. We've seen it before, haven't we? And people go, "Oh, it's a bit of a reset." It's not a reset at all. It's just an absolute, excuse the French, fuck up if we go down. It will be a monumental. Look at the players we've, look at some of the players that have transitioned through the club in the last few years, and it ends in relegation. The culpability would be just all on Fosun, clearly, but we can't even think of that. That is, and what it's going to be the same pattern again now. We'll be down the bottom, won't we? We'll be in the bottom 3 at Christmas. So what they're going to do, Fosun, chuck a load of money at it again. Rinse, the cycle just keeps repeating itself. And I think this is what people are getting a bit bored with now. Someone just messaged me actually, and they said, "What's the difference between 10th and 17th? Is it just money?" The thing is, right? Okay, technically nothing. If you finish 10th and you finish 17th, obviously you're not in Europe, but it's just a show of ambition. You'll have won more games. You're likely, the higher you finish up the table, the better the players you're likely to attract. And if you're playing football and you finish 10th or 11th, which we would absolutely die for this season, it just stands to reason you're not teetering about the 17th, 16th positions, which at some point, like I said, we will go down on it. So that's the difference, really. So you want to just finish as high as you possibly can.
Yeah. Anything to add to that, Sutty?
Well, like Chris has just put in this comment, it's our 8th consecutive year here, and yet again, we're all talking about relegation. Speaks volumes, Dave. All we talk about is relegation. It's bullshit. Bullshit from him up at the top. It's time for big change at this club and a big reset in our the landscape between our ears and how the running this club has become. It's dreadful. You could say, "Oh, they've given us the best years ever." Really? Honestly? I don't think they've been the best years I've ever known. Not the last 4, anyway.
The last. I mean, I think when we first come in, because of where we were, everyone was on a high. We got to Europe. It was absolutely fantastic, and it was really good. We've got Manny that's joining us now. Manny's felt the urge to come on and speak.
Is he still pedaling?
Turn your thing
He's
round,
on a bike. He's on a bike.
I am.
He's on a bike. Can you turn your phone round?
Can I? You want me to turn my phone round? Go on then.
Hang on, Manny. I can see you now, Manny.
That's better. Yes, Manny.
Better?
Thanks for joining. Well done at the weekend as well.
Brilliant.
I just wanted, just joining in the conversation, and what was telling for me was the Jeff Shee interview. We had the best time of our lives under those 2 seasons under Nuno, where we travelled around Europe. We had the most magical nights, brilliant goals, the Man United game, Man City at home, and brilliant away days. And he came on that interview and he called them lucky. We had the best time of our lives. And he summarised that as lucky and got rid of that man, when we finished 13th. And since then, it's been rotten. Year in, year out, it's been rotting. If you go to the podcast last year, you guys were saying the same things. 2 years ago, you guys were saying the same things. 3 years ago, probably saying the same things. It's rudderless, no leadership. We've got no players. We haven't replaced. We haven't got no quality. And 6 to 8 games every season get written off. They're written off because you cannot replace players last minute and then develop a mentality that is winning, that believes that you can achieve anything. You know, you get players in early, then you get into their minds. It's not about money. It's not even about money, because even if Fosun spent money, I don't think I'd trust the leadership to deliver the quality that we need. I just don't think it's just about money. I'm sure if you gave the same amount of money, I mean, we're still about plus 6 million when we buy this Tolu on incomings and outcomings. So we've spent all the money that we've got in. But it's not about that. We could spend money the next day. We've wrote off the first 6 to 8 games because of our strategy. And that strategy happens every single season. And the owners aren't here for life, but we are, aren't we? We're here. We're here. We were, you know, and we'll be, and they're custodians. And it's not a bad thing to change ownership. And ownership doesn't leave. It just doesn't leave because you knock on the door and say, "Hi, can you please leave? Because we need someone else." It doesn't leave like that, which, you know, usually there's a bit of aggro somewhere, and it comes from the terraces and you know, we're fed up, aren't we? We're fed up. Ticket prices, lack of stadium redevelopment. Everything's about being fed up, and then we aim all our anger on a bloody song. Because, you know, if you think about it, it was just a song, wasn't it? It wasn't the biggest, but everything becomes an issue. Everything becomes an issue with the football club because of the leadership. We have had to replace the leadership, get the right mentality in from top to bottom, and then you will succeed. Laurie Dalrymple, got rid of. Kevin Thelwell, got rid of. Russell Jones has left the club. That's probably his own way. You know, people like Zoe Brough, she was really good at the club. The HR manager, got rid of. You know, the leaders on the pitch, we got rid of. You know, we got rid of all the leaders.
So our captain every year.
Who is our captain? Does anybody know?
Not particularly. It seems to be Totti, to be honest.
So that's, you know, I was just listening to the podcast. You could have just replayed last year's on loop because the same things were being said last year. And I think it was an insult when he called the best time that we've had in 40 odd years as that was a lucky period.
You know? Manny, what does that say about him? He's new now, gaffer. Is he saying his success was Jeff Shea helping to get us into Europe, which he was a part of his luck? What does that say about him? How does that sound to his gaffers?
You know, if you were really successful, like you're obviously into comedy. Some would argue it's not, but you're into comedy.
Low blow.
No, I know.
Gloves are on.
I hope you get a puncture next time.
On your exercise bike.
He gets some sticks like
Say again, sorry, pal.
You know, but if you have a really, I mean, Jason's in business and we're all at work. If you have a really good day and you do really well, and somehow that year your business is beyond forecast, you think, oh my God, how can I keep this? Not only keep it there, how can I now build on this?
Yeah.
Whether it's luck or not, how can I build on this and take it further? I've had this really successful sold out gig. How can I build on it? I've had a really successful gig. How can I build on it? And he called it luck and went this way. You know, this has been there for years. The ambition's not there. I do some work with Birmingham City's foundation. I go into schools around Birmingham City. And I went into Birmingham City and I thought I walked into a 5-star hotel. It is magical, that place inside, because they've just spent so much money because they know they're going to have big people coming in there and they want it to look impressive. And it's the canteen, the restaurant, everything is like top notch in that place. Somebody with ambition, you know, it doesn't affect PSR. They haven't got the ambition, they haven't got the drive, and it is time for change. And without changing it, we'll be here next year, and you can replay the same podcast.
Absolutely well said. Sutty, you've got your hand up there.
Just a quick one, Dave. Dictators don't like successful leaders. That's fact. When you're a dictator, you don't like people too successful underneath you, undermines you, Dave. So you put the knife in their back and get rid.
Jason, anything to come in on that one?
Yeah.
Oh, Jack?
Go, Jack.
Sorry, no. Yeah, can't disagree with any of it. Yeah.
Comedy's okay, to be honest.
You've absolutely thrown me.
I bet you've got the glasses on you, ain't you, Jack?
Well,
I can't wait to see this charity boxing match between Jack and Manny. It's going to be brilliant. All for the good shepherd.
What was I was going to say for the the look back to the look thing as well. I know it's a cliche and it's really obvious, but you create your own look, don't you?
Of course you do.
That's not look. You don't get in Europe by look after 2 seasons in the Premier League. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm at a loss. He's a total knobhead.
You know, I won't give names, but I've spoken to people who've worked at the club in the past and under Fosun, and they haven't said too much, but they've said there's not many pats on the back. There's not many, and you know what? You need that in a team, in a culture, and the culture is set right from the very top. And clearly, the way they run things, and Sutty, it's a big word to use, but use the dictator word, but it's quite true. Anybody that is going to show any resistance, any challenge to what they're saying and doing, they will not have anywhere near that football club.
Fantastic. Right, guys, we're going to do Q&A now. Manny, could you stop on for the last bit of this thing and we'll do some Q&A? So, guys, if you've got questions for Sutty, Jason, Jack, Manny, or the panel, please lock them down. I'll just, whilst you're moving, just put you on mute for a second, Jack. I just want to talk about something. I didn't want to talk about it too much until after Manny's fundraiser, because we've got a fundraiser this weekend, which is the Content Creators Cup, raising money for the foundation. And I just want to talk about that just for a little minute to tell people about it. It's at Compton. We've got 12 teams this year: the media team, the foundation, Wolves Fancast, the Old Goal Pack, Talking Wolves, Wolfpack, WCRFM, 1877, Wolves Report. We've got Walsall Fan TV and Spurs Chat, who are invitationals this year. It's all about raising money for the foundation. We've literally tonight had a great donation from someone called Simon. He's put 250 quid. He says,
Right.
Thank you to the content creators for the great work you do. Good luck for the tournament. If you want to buy tickets to go, you can get in from 9 o'clock. It's at the Compton Dome, the Wolves training ground. If you want to buy tickets or to be on the door on security, like you got Manjit, Ria, Digit, Baines that have bought tickets. It's £5 a person. So if you have 3 of you, it's 15 quid. You can see Steve Smith's here. Justin here from Walsall Fan TV. They bought 3 tickets. The link's in the description below this video. We'll put it in the chat in a minute. If you can't go, if you can donate, that would be amazing. We're trying to get to £8,000 this year total target, and with the gift aid, it'll get us to 10 grand. So we're going to get us close to that. If you can donate, that'd be grateful. If you can come and cheer us on and come and watch, there will be food and drink available as well. Please do. And we've got a team in as well. So listen, I just wanted to plug that. So if anything you can do to help, much appreciated. And I'll put the link, the chat right
I've got
now.
a quick question, Dave. Who won the first one? I can't remember.
The Wolf Whistle, mate. I've got
I'm sorry. I couldn't remember. Sorry.
The Wolf Whistle All-Star.
I've got another question. How many minutes did you get, Jay?
Hey, I scored against you lot.
You did as well. You did.
I'm talking about last year.
Hey, Mike, you're the keeper. He had Teflon. He had Teflon. He was like absolutely amazing, that keeper.
Oh yeah.
There's a
He looked like
question.
Jimmy Savile, though. That was the only problem.
There's a first question is Manny, where do you get your mindset from? The amazing power you put into all your projects. Respect.
I think it's mate. It's not something you can't just jump on a bike for 24 hours. It's been something that I've been building on for probably about 25 years. So it comes from my faith, and there's no limit to human being. There never has been. It's just your thought that limits you. So you throw the thought in the bin, and then you do anything you want, and it's just a process. So it's just something I focus on inwardly. And I'm pretty. It surprises me as well, because after 30 minutes, I thought, "What the hell have I let myself in for?" And I've been googling bum transplants all day, and I've had some real dodgy websites come up. So it's
Send me the links, Manny.
Yeah, I will, mate.
Absolutely fantastic question here. Lads, does Vitor Pereira know he's starting and strongest 11? I don't think he does. Who wants to answer that one?
I don't see how he possibly can know his best starting 11, because they're literally coming in like new kids on the block. So they're coming in. He's seen them in, obviously they're playing in certain leagues. There is obviously a strategy to their recruitment, but equally you can't just bring players in at the last minute and expect. He does not know his best 11. No, is the short answer.
Fantastic. Chris Humphreys, give this a sooty. Can you indicate when we will win a game with the current squad as it is, mate?
Well, I just said Burnley at home, mid-October, but
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games away.
I can't see us getting anything from Newcastle. I can't see us getting anything from Leeds at home, because they'll be right up for it. And if we come out to Leeds at home with their full away allocation across the bottom of the Steve Bull raucous, and it's as flat as a rattlesnake's ball bag like it was yesterday, we're bang in trouble. And they will turn us over. Brighton will turn us over.
Brighton beat City today.
Look, I'm really sorry to be the bearer of bad news here, but I know
the bearer of reality.
It's reality. Get your head out the sand, start making the place really toxic and noisy, and make away fans feel uncomfortable, and you might just lift these lads. But there's nowhere near enough quality in this starting 11. I said to you last week, Dave, there's only João Gomez and Andre that are getting Bournemouth starting lineup. That's disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful.
Absolutely well said. Jack, if you're going to Josh Brownhill, any thoughts on him?
Is he? I don't know a lot about him being.
He's free transfer, isn't he? I think.
He's not like he's not centre midfielder, and is he not like a holding midfielder? Or am I wrong? Yeah, is that right, Jason?
Yeah.
What's the point? Again, why is Tommy Doyle gone out on loan? There's no plan. He's there. The proper budget. It's just a budget job. Maybe we will. I don't know, but I don't see the massive need for another defensive centre midfield.
Absolutely not.
We need goals. You know,
we need an attack. We need an attacking midfielder. I'm not going to quite go with the full of this. I mean, Carl wants to bring out guests, but I'm going to say, Carl's got a question. If you had a meal with Vitor Pereira at a dinner table, which two other people would you bring with you? This is to each of the panel. Let's go.
I'd bring a new centre half and a new striker.
New centre half, a new striker, like it. Manny?
Me? I'd look. Vitor can go to the loo, and I'd just like a meeting with Jeff Shee face to face.
Nice one.
Don't be bad, mate.
I'll just go with Manny and watch him and shit the.
I'd let Sutty go with him.
Jeffy and Connor.
We'll have him in as well.
Jeffy and Connor.
Connor.
Oh my God! I promise you, Jeff G would resign immediately. Brilliant.
Joseph wants to know. Go on, Jason. This one. What do you think of Vitor Pereira's decision this season? For example, playing Manetzi, who can't track a bad every game, dropping on Andre for Bellegarde.
It goes back to the reality that he doesn't know his best 11. But equally, the reality is now, and a word that Sutty's been using, is the honeymoon period is over for Vitor Pereira. This is where the business starts now. It's over, it's done. Forget the points. Hopefully that'll come back and all that. But right for now, he's got to get some points on the board. So, decision making. Look, we can all pick a better team in hindsight. We can all pick a better team from the stand. You know, we can all pick a better team when we're at home watching it on telly. We can all do that. But we can't all be wrong. And we're saying, why isn't he starting him? Why is he still persevering with this player? So, but I suppose we get that with all managers. But yeah.
Mate, he's going to need to get some cans in the fridge because he ain't going to be drinking in Wolverhampton for a while. The way it's going.
He's going to be teetotal by Christmas.
I think he's been teetotal since April. To be honest,
it'll be vaping.
He hasn't drunk all season.
Yeah. Final question. I'll start with Jack, then Manny, then Sutty, then Jason, because I need to come to Jason on something. Rhett wants to know, where would an ideal place for a new stadium be for you? What's your thoughts on the stadium? Rebuild it where it is, move it over to the Asda or the M54. What's your take?
I wouldn't want to see it moved. I don't, surely there's ways around. I might be totally wrong. I'd love to see us have a brand spanking new stadium, but I also think there's something unique in our stands. I just want to see a massive one-tier South Bank. Keep it unique. Spend some money on the facilities properly inside. Whatever internal work you can without moving the ground. Let's make it unique, because as good as that Everton stadium is, and I'm not going to slag it over, I don't think anybody thinks I'm being negative about that. They do all sort of look the same to me. I'd love us to keep it unique. Not that we have to worry about that problem for a bit, but keep it where it is and make it really unique and sort the facilities out inside. For God's sake.
Yeah. Manny?
Yeah, I agree. If you take Molyneux out of Wolverhampton's dead as it is. That kills Wolverhampton forever. It's the only sort of duel we've got in Premier League, even though we're frustrated at the moment.
I think you've got to lose Mike there, Manny, because you're crackling a lot.
Am I? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
He's just pedaling.
I don't know. Maybe it's the dynamo that stopped working. I'd keep it where it is, and we don't need 60, 70,000. It's unique. It's four-sided. It's got history to it. There's lots of when it gets going, it's a brilliant place. It just hasn't got going, has it? So
I think Jeff's muting him. I think Jeff's interfering with his feed. Sutty, thoughts for you?
If you take Molyneux away from the centre of Wolverhampton, it's going to absolutely decimate that city. It's not the most affluent city anyway, let's be honest. But it's a proper city. It's a working class city. Can't afford any plasterers in Wolverhampton either. If you take it away, it'll kill it. Absolutely kill it. So for me, I'd rather you moved Asda onto the M54 and put a new Molyneux where Asda is.
Yeah.
You know what? That could be the answer, to be honest. Like that space over there and they build it. If they were going to do that, I think you'd kill the city if you move it. To be honest, and they could then build hotels and all sorts where Molyneux is. It could be done, and I'm sure that could be negotiated. I think that the university owns some land and the council, so there is complications in it. But we do need to move with the times, because, like, at the end of the day, like as I said earlier in the thing, we're getting bypassed by so many teams who've got some vision and ambition. Jason, same question to you, and I also just want to ask you about your event that's coming up as well.
So with Wolves in the past, I've been a bit, sitting on the fence with it when Fosun was exciting us all with what they was going to do. Listen, the reality is we don't need a 50, 60,000 seater stadium anyway, right? We don't want it to be full of empty flipping gold seats. So I think, they could do a job on the Steve Ball stand, obviously make that bigger. Then obviously do a job on the South Bank. And listen, I think that'd be enough, because especially the Steve Ball stand, the facilities in there are pretty poor. And I think as well, we need a bigger. I mean, the Jack Hayward Suite, for example, only holds the Hayward Suite only holds about 200 people. So we need some. So when we used to do the end of season dinners, we used to be flying over to flipping Telford. It was ridiculous. So I think they need to do something there, and that could possibly be on the site of the Steve Bull. And everyone's quite right. You move. I think there's only us in Newcastle now in the Premier League. Correct me if I'm wrong. Who are still in the city centre as such. You move us away from the city centre, that city centre. I've got an office in the city centre. It's on its knees. Marks and Spencer's is going now. Beatties is gone. You can move the Molyneux from there. Come on. So, yeah, they've got to do some work on it, but we don't need a 50,000 Lego stadium at the I-54.
Absolutely. And Jason, your event?
Yeah. So with all the doom and gloom going on, I thought, who can I get to come and do a dinner with for charity? And I thought, I know, Roger Johnson, because everybody loves Roger. And then I thought, even better, what date can we do it on? An important date. And then I thought, oh no, we'll do it on September the 11th. So it was like the stars were aligning, Dave. We've got Roger Johnson at the Mount Hotel on September the 11th. Now, I don't know if I could sell Santa out, but I've already sold 110 seats for it. But anyone who listened to my podcast recently, Roger, he's a straight talker. He'll tell you as it is. And it's going to be a great night. Obviously, we're doing it for charity. We're now at £520,000. I mean, Manny, what Manny's raised is just incredible. What Manny raised the weekend is just incredible. So, yes, we've got that on September the 11th. So I've got about 10 tickets. So I can squeeze you in. Yeah, so just contact me on Twitter and I'll unblock you.
So basically, you've only got 10 seats left for the event. So, like, what's your social if people want to get in touch with you about getting on that?
At Wolves Premier, my name here, and then tickets are £35, and we're doing it for the usual 5 charities. So and Roger, to be fair, I've been speaking to Roger. He's really looking forward to coming over. He's going to be completely honest, and these are the people I like to interview. I don't want to interview someone who is going to not have anything interesting to say. He's going to go full bore in exactly what happened at that time.
Nothing off. Nothing's
off. When we had Jamie O'Hara, exactly the same. He told us exactly what went on, and Roger will do exactly the same. The first question will be, Roger, was it Carling or Heineken you was pissed on?
Yeah. Jason, get in touch with Jason for that. One thing I just want to say before I finish, we're just over 2 hours. Some of you might have noticed that I sang a Strand Larson song recently.
Sing it again, Dave. Go on, give us an encore.
Dave.
I was happy after the match. I didn't want him to go. I got a little bit tongue-tied. Someone clipped a 10-second clip, apparently a parody account I've got now, and put it, and it went sort of viral. Listen, for me, a bit like Jason, bit like Jack, I don't mind having a laugh. I don't mind having a bath. I can laugh at things myself. We all say silly things and we'd be daft and stuff like that. I like making people laugh. I like putting a smile on people's face. I like to think I'm a decent, kind person like you all. But when people get nasty abuse, it doesn't matter who it is, it gets to you because you're a human being. We've all had it on here, and it gets to you. And I just want to say that I really found out who my mates were and my friends were because you guys, you stood up next to me and stuck up for me. And there's a load of other people that did as well. For some reason, some people, if you've got a bit of a profile, they want to drag you down. Manny, you've had so much of that as well. Jason, Jack, Sutty probably had a bit of it. But I just want to say to you guys and for everyone out there who gives the love for the channel and what we do, we're just genuinely people. We try and do our best. We don't get everything right. Sometimes we say wrong things. We're just fans. Fans.
Dave, I know it's quite late now, but when people like that sat behind a little computer screen and that, stick your fingers up and tell them to fuck off. They will not come up to your face, Dave.
Never.
Say to your face.
Never.
Bottle jobs. Ignore them.
All the shit I've had in the past on social media, not one of them people, I've seen them at away matches. They've had every opportunity to come and say to me, have they ever said it? No. I said something about you, Dave, when I come to your defence. And I'll speak for the five of us, right? We all do bits and pieces on social media. None of us profess to be polished. None of us profess to be brilliant at what we do. We're just fans, and we love what we do, and we're just genuine, and we try and be honest, and we try and give our opinion. That's it. So for people to come at you because you've got to be tongue-tied, David says more about them than you. They couldn't, like I said, they couldn't lace your microphone, Dave. So you know what? It's a feather in your cap that you've got these haters, sadly, because that's the world we're in.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you because, like, it did give me a real lift.
And also, Dave, 98% are always with you.
Yeah.
These 2%, they don't matter. And I just think sometimes I've developed this mentality. It used to get me really down, really properly down.
We've had meetings about it, Manny.
Me and Jace have sat in dark rooms, and it have honestly. But now for me, it's about the let's concentrate on the majority. The majority is great. You are always gonna have this element. You always are. Whether it gets you down, you always are. It always exists. It's just part of the process now. 98% of people are with you all the time. Look at the channel. You just said, "Oh, I've got 1,200." Even though
1,870 right now.
There's 1,870.
Wow.
Bloody hell! That's like that means something good is going on here. So concentrate on that. All those messages. All these people. Young kids like Connor and they want to come on your show and have their say.
Yep.
Focus on them. They just drown the others out. They're just not worth any attention. I used to reply. I used to have running battles on social media. It's not, mate. You can't, because they will exist. Existed forever, Manny, and they will.
You'll literally spend your whole life arguing with these people, and you'll never win the argument anyway. But Dave, please, two things. One, can you play the clip now? And two, instead of Field to Gold, can we have your voice going, "Oh, Strandline"?
Someone come up with the last two lines for him.
I did come up with the last lines. I did come up to it, something like, "We're not selling to Newcastle. You can go and do one." I did work that out eventually, about 4 days later. But come
brilliant
on.
Day.
We won a game for the first time since April. I was happy, and Larson scored, and it was a 10.
Can I just say a positive? I know we've been really negative. Those 15 minutes or 10 minutes against West Ham.
Yeah.
There was only about how many were in the crowd, Dave, for that night?
I think about 12,000 in their total.
12,000. They made some noise, didn't they?
They did, yeah.
Just for those 10 minutes. And it just shows that we're ready. We just need it on the pitch, and when we get it on the pitch, we will respond. And we've talked past that we want to try and make the atmosphere, but sometimes, and I must admit, I've always said it as well. We've got to sing. But I've come to realise as well, it is a two-way thing. If you're watching dross and crap, then what are we supposed to do? So that 10 minutes just showed that we will explode into life if we see something on the pitch that gives us that opportunity.
Absolutely. And I'd rather make people smile and do positive things than the thing you say, look, this goes for anyone. Listen, if you've got something to say it. Do it in the right way, argue, disagree, whatever. You can. There's an open invitation to anyone to come and have your say on the channel. We'll always give people say, "I'll have a chat and a cup of tea," as you would, Manny and Jason. Sit down, get to know us properly. But like, if you just want to be sad.
So, Dave, when you get a bit of grief of it, how many people have actually ever come up to you?
I had one person when we were. I think I talked to you about it. You know who it was. That was when I was in Turin or wherever it was. But it was doing something sign. Other than that, most people are so nice and kind and supportive and lovely. And that's like what Manny says. The majority of people are really decent people. You're not going to be everyone's cup of tea. You never are.
You've only got to look at the chat in the group and how many positive comments, how many positive people, how many people who love the club just as much as, and just because we're doing it, our opinion isn't greater than any of theirs, and vice versa. And there's people on there who could probably speak more polished than we do about it, but it's just a good community to be part of, and but there's always someone out there who's ready to spoil it, Dave.
No,
We're
that's
just
great.
waiting for your album, Dave. Now.
Yeah, Mum and Dad. The people keep asking me Dad to do an album, so you know. Listen, I just wanted to say thank you for all the lovely people that reached out. We had lots of people, and it really did. You know, banter and laughs great, and just don't be nasty, people. Just try and be kind. It just shows you up as a person, I think, if you show that side of yourself. Let's move on to that. Final words. If we go, Jack, Manny, Sutty, Jason, final words for the show going into the international break. Give us something positive to finish on.
Thank God. The positive is that it is an international break, and I usually hate international breaks. I've got nothing positive about me at the minute. Sorry. I'll tell you what's positive. It was really nice talking to you all tonight. It's a nice way to spend a couple of hours. And yeah, it's nice to be nice, ain't it? Yeah, I didn't speak then, but Dave, it's easy to say, but take no notice as much as you can, pal. That's it. You know, people love you and people like you. And this is nice. Look at this. This is community. So there's more positivity for you, lads. It's got nothing to do with the football, though.
Manny?
Yeah, I just want to mention.
Give everyone an update, maybe on how much you raised the weekend, and again,
that's amazing. But I just want to focus on one person in particular, Dave. His name's Ray. Ray's from Brighton, and when I did the 48-hour walk, he's like in his 70s on a walking stick. He was the first one that turned up from Brighton, and he told me that his wife had died from dementia just 5 days earlier, and he just wanted to be there at the start. When I set up to do this challenge this weekend, Ray turns up from Brighton, you know, all the way, and he's there at 11 o'clock, 3 hours before anyone else. And I don't know him. I've never met, you know, I've never like spoke to him. I've never had a real conversation, or he's not a mate, he's not family, and that's what real fans are about. So I just want to say, you know, there's people like Ray, and there's people who they give you so much energy, and that's what I focus on. So he was my highlight, you know, a wonderful gentleman who's gone through trauma, and I felt like it doesn't matter if we don't raise any money. Ray feels good for coming here, and that's enough. And obviously, you know, fans responded, and I think we've just gone past 13 grand like raise for this weekend.
Incredible.
Well done, mate. Can't wait.
Some of the haters must have donated, Jace.
Yeah. I don't know what your next harebrained scheme's going to be, but we'll wait and see. You always say, "Oh, that's the last one," and then you'll come out with something. Sutty?
Just learn to embrace the haters, Dave.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's fantastic. Just wind them up, Dave. Ask them to go for a cup of coffee or meet up with you, because they'll never come.
Yeah, we'll go
they'll never come, Dave.
They won't, Dave.
They're fantastic.
And Dave, you know what?
I love them, Dave. Well? I do. I love winding them up. I love them.
Because they know you don't go back at them. They know you won't go back at them. So they get a few, and then they get the likes off the same faceless accounts. But Sut is exactly right.
Fantastic. Final one from you. Bit of positive. You got a great shirt on there.
Yeah, going to talk about positives. I was just going to say, there's a lot of Wolves fans saying, "Oh, it should be gold, it should be black, it should be white." I get all that, but equally, I really, really like this design. And it was designed, obviously, or part designed by Ben Mortar, I believe, who's a local artist. So yeah, it's good. Getting local people involved on these projects, and I really like it personally. It's better without the sponsor. So, and Manny taught me that. Email fan services, as soon as you place your order, give them your order number.
They've actually said they're sold out to me now. I tried to get some more.
Yeah, sorry? I mean, they've done a decent job with the shirts this year.
They said they've sold out of the sponsorless ones. I contacted them on behalf of someone else because it was so... The demand was there, and they managed to get quite a few out, but hopefully they'll get some more in stock.
Yeah, that was a good tip earlier. Right, guys, we're on just over 2 hours of 15, just gone up to 2 hours 15. It's been an absolutely incredible podcast tonight. We've currently got 16 people watching live.
Dave, I'm not being rude. I've got to go. I've got to plaster a ceiling tonight.
And I'm going to plaster the toilet.
Thank you.
See you all. Love
Thank
ya.
you ever so much. Thank you ever so much for joining in the chat. Thanks for watching. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. Thank you to all my guests tonight that have come on, and the young lads that have come on as well, which has put a smile on our face. And yeah, international, the transfer window's over and done with tomorrow. We can stop stressing about that. Have enjoyed a bit of the break, and hopefully we'll start winning after the international break. We can live in hope, can we not? But guys, thank you ever so much. Been a brilliant show, and I know loads of you will watch it on catch up, and then if you're listening to it the podcast as well, be on all your favourite podcast providers. And thanks again to Creation Wolf for powering the show. Until the next one, from all of us here, always Wolves.
Just close the spaces.
Strand last.